Hi, today we're going to build a toolbox. It's a pretty simple toolbox. All you need is 3 pieces the same length. Doesn't matter if they're 12 inches, 14 inches, however long you want your toolbox, but 3 pieces have to be the same length of 1x6. And then you need 2 pieces 1x6 for the ends. They're the same length. A lot of people like this project because you can easily figure out how much wood you need because it's all 1x6s and it's all in linear feet. You can make it in a couple of different ways. I'm going to show you one way today. You can make it like this, which we will make it, okay? And the ends go inside the side pieces. I do this with all of the projects that I do with the students. I do the layout, and I usually build a demo beforehand, and I do it fairly quickly, but I have students help me sometimes. Different students come up and help me. I'll say, okay, where am I going to put my fasteners? Where am I going to put my screws? I want to put a screw here. I'm going to put one here. Okay, I'll put one in the middle here, down at the bottom, one here, one here. Sometimes I'll let them use the markings that they got on from the first one and just mesh it up to their other piece and mark it that way. Now, for this particular project, I like for them to use a countersink bit. Okay, this is a countersink bit, and it lets the screw go down below the level of the side of the wood. Okay. If the screw is beveled, so it'll go down in there and sit below the surface of the wood. It helps keep the wood from splitting because as the head goes in, it's so close to the edge where you're connecting, the wood splits. That's another reason we drill a pilot hole. But it also gives kids the opportunity to change bits. I let them use an impact driver for this. A lot of times, this has a quick connect. If you watched our drilling videos, you know that works, but quick connect. Now, I usually have the students clamp their piece of wood on a 4x4. For this activity, for this video, I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to hold it in place. All right, and then drill them. You just want to go about this far, just so that your screw head will sink down below the level of the wood. Okay, back to our layout. I'm going to set these up like that we go, and I'm going to do one side at a time. Okay, so I'm going to take this side, put it over here. This side I want to attach like this. I'm going to use this other side as a prop to help me hold it up. Okay, while I put the screws in. But I'm going to go ahead and put a little wood glue on here. Notice I say a little wood glue. You better say a little wood glue to the students. Make sure it's flush across the back. Now, again, just like driving the nails, you can start your screws a little bit ahead of time before you put it on there. But we're going to use the drill instead of the impact driver, even though it'll fit in the impact driver. Tighten it down. Okay, before I drive that screw in there, I'm going to show you something about the drill that's very important. You can gauge how strong you want it to be. We're driving this screw really close to the edge of this piece of wood, and we don't want it to bust it. We don't want to crack it. We've drilled a little pilot hole. We haven't drilled a pilot hole all the way into the second piece of wood. So we're going to use our settings to help us out here. So we want to put it on 1. We want to put it on a low setting. And when it feels a lot of resistance, it will stop. Okay, watch. Well, this one's not going to stop it. Okay. All right. So that's what you want. It didn't stop it. It didn't really stop it. So we're going to go back a little bit. And what you can do is show the kids on a 4x4 how to get that dialed in before they start putting their pieces of wood together. Okay. Now, I go ahead and after I've put one of these on, one of the screws on, I go ahead and have the students put the other side on. That way they don't have to have a partner to hold so much to do everything else just yet. Clamp this one. Okay. Clamp this one. Have them start it a little bit before they start putting it into the wood. Now here, I'm going to hold it in place, but you have to be careful because this one will kick around if you're not careful. So you want to hold it down. We back the dial down. Okay, good. That's a good setting. It's a good setting. All right, now I go ahead and start putting on the ends. The ends can be a little tricky based on the wood that you have. These are a little bit bowed inward, so we're gonna, it might be a little, just have to push the wood apart and make them go in. Gonna make sure it's flush back here. Now, to put your wood glue on here, I just I go ahead and dry run like that, and then I'll put a little bit of wood glue. I don't put it a whole lot because you have screws instead of nails, so these will stay together much better than with nails. Long after nails would have already probably allowed it to come apart. Okay. Now, if you need to, and it's going to be like, see this gap right here? Right here. I'm going to take this clamp and I'm going to clamp that. I'm going to use that to tighten that up for me. That's going to allow it to stay in place where I want it. Hear that? That's what you want to hear. That stops it just where we want it to stop it. Now, you notice how far this one sank that compared to these that are nice, right where we want them. Usually it'll crack the wood. If we did it a little closer to the edge, it probably would. See how it messed up our, right down here. It's just a little bit too powerful for driving screws in wood like this for the impact driver. You can do it, but it's to your advantage to have the kids learn how to dial in that drill and get it just the way, so it'll do it for them every time. Okay, now we're going to do our handle. You can use a wooden dowel, or you can use a rope. Sometimes I use a rustic looking rope. I like to use that because you can adjust the length of the handle, and it gives the students a little more versatility, and they can put more tools hanging out of the toolbox and still be able to use their handle. The wooden dowel is good. The rope is a little more forgiving when you drill your holes, but I want to show you how to use the wooden dowel today. This is a Forstner bit. This bit is, it will cut you. It's a bit that I would not have the students do with unless you are right there at them, unless you have a drill press, okay, especially at first, because these are sharp. They make a nice clean hole. So this is very important. When you're using the Forstner bit and you're gonna drill and hole into this piece of wood, you want another piece underneath it. It makes a nicer, cleaner hole. And we're gonna put it just like this. You can have the students measure, find the center, and go down a certain distance. For the sake of timing today, I'm just going to pick a spot that I think looks close to the center and about where I want it. I want to make sure it's in forward. Hold it straight up and down. It's going to leave us a nice, pretty clean hole on this side. Okay. If we hadn't used our other piece of wood right here, it would have made it a lot more jagged. Okay, now before you drill the other hole, if you're using a wooden dowel, go ahead and put the dowel through here and see where it's going to come up, and then I'm going to mark it on this other side where I want it to go. Change bits. I'm going to drill a pilot hole just so all the way in through there, because if we don't want to crack this. If we crack this, it's going to be difficult to get our handle back in. Now, what I like to do is if I want to put my screw to go in there and hold that tight, put it in there, just something to hold it against the top. All we have to do is take our handsaw, cut off the end wherever we want to.